US companies have invested heavily in China for decades by setting up manufacturing plants that have created countless jobs. The money flows are now going both ways. A new report shows Chinese companies are increasingly investing in the US, preserving and creating more jobs for Americans. Karina Huber has more.
In December of last year, China's Anbang Insurance Group made history by buying the Waldorf Astoria for $1.9 billion. It was the highest sum ever paid by a Chinese company for a New York property. The record-making purchase highlights a growing trend. Chinese direct investment in the U.S., which was virtually non-existent 15 years ago, is now booming. According to a report by Rhodium Group and the National Committee on U.S.-China Relations, between 2000 and 2014, Chinese companies spent almost $46 billion in direct investment in the U.S., the bulk of it over the past 5 years.
There's tremendous economic rationale to invest in the U.S. Chinese companies are looking for brand, they're looking for technology, and they're attracted by high-skilled workers in the U.S.
Some of the headline-grabbing investments include Lenovo's purchase of IBM's low-end server business in 2014 and the Chinese acquisition of Smithfield Foods, the world's largest pork producer, a year earlier. Both have substantial operations in the state of North Carolina, where much of the money and jobs are flowing. Cassie Gao, a research analyst at Rhodium Group, says the majority of the investment dollars consist of large companies buying other large companies or pieces of real estate.
In terms of the value of investment, mergers and acquisitions do account for the majority, mostly because it is quicker and more simple. But actually, in terms of the number of investments, greenfield has been dominating.
Volvo, which is owned by a Chinese company and is opening a new auto manufacturing plant in South Carolina, is one example of a greenfield project. The $500 million facility, which is scheduled to open in 2018, will reportedly create 4,000 new jobs. In total, more than 80,000 Americans are currently on the payroll of Chinese-affiliated companies, and that number is expected to grow.
That's because Chinese investment in the U.S. is still at relatively low levels. It currently accounts for roughly 1% of foreign direct investment in the United States, so there's plenty of room to grow. Rhodium Group predicts that by 2020, flows from China could hit $200 billion, and Chinese companies could be responsible for up to 400,000 U.S. jobs. Karina Huber, CCTV, New York.